just with a sky instead of a fade. And oftentimes the reason for that Cypher being better on this map is because those cages can allow you to lurk. And also, there's not as many good lockdowns on this map.
Meanwhile, there are a plethora of good cams.
Yeah.
Plenty good trip angles. You're absolutely right.
Now, Sugetsu was getting caught a lot in mid during their playoffs bout against Team Liquid. Not too long ago. We'll see if he cleans that up. That's very important against his double duelist comp, which can come with some pace.
Deep flash into garage, finding some info for Zipon. But no real way to confirm what's on the other side. Finesse is going to be the first there. An Artist on the swing, aggressive, the dash away, leaving Finesse to die. Trashies follows suit shortly thereafter. But great response. There's still a shot at this. It's gotten down to 2. It's gotten down to 1. But Xiao's healthy, while the 2 remaining members of NRG are not.
So, better weapons for them.
It's a good point. Just a classic.
He could pick up a Ghost right here or Frenzy, either one possible. But he spots them both, actually. And a great movement on the rope.
The light armor's gone. The health is gone. Artist from that distance with the Frenzy getting the pistol for NRG.
Just not able to land the shot. I thought the movement was great there. Actually able to tuck back on top of that rafter as he hit the rope. With the double swing, really nice from Artist. And Som. Those last 2 players. And again, I think this KJ specifically picked to try to stop the pace that is possible from NRG. They're gonna have to adapt fast to that sort of idea, because you've seen in the past NRG really come out fast and furious. But they've also shifted gears plenty of time.
Angel taking some space mid, Som there to greet.
That's a beautiful angle from Som.
Yeah, it is.
Not one that I've seen before, but on those anti-ecos, you just find those to be so easy, because you're looking for one taps, and you're taking risks on the swings.
You can see Xiao there crouched, waiting for someone to swing, for someone to dare challenge him. And he's crept up a little bit further here.
Like how Finesse just doesn't react to the flash at all.
Just takes it.
He's probably in the middle, looking at the mini-map or calming something. Doesn't matter, though. This is where Finesse shines. Not in these anti-ecos, just on this map in particular. It is such a mid-round heavy map. You have to be strong at that. I think the battle between Finesse and Angel, in that regard, has been going towards Finesse over the entire series mostly.
30 seconds left.
Obviously Lotus, Angel had some peaks, especially in the early round calling.
Yeah, but on average, I would agree with you completely. Artist gets opener onto CNED.
That's huge. Artist has not been winning those battles. I mean, we saw it. After the first map, the stats were brutal. After the second series, Artist is 7-11 against CNED in general. And CNED is 17-6, plus 11.
Jeez.
And that's in first duels only.
CNED's been performing exceptionally well.
So is Artist.
Yeah, he's starting to eco-frag a little bit.
One enemy remaining.
Well handled. Very well handled. Prime gaming flaws for NRG.
That man caught the bird in his legs.
He did. He did.
Same start that NRG had. They finally do get a pistol. Again. That's 2 for 5. Most of these bonuses, in most cases, it's been NAVI playing them. But NRG did win the one on Lotus. Remember that streak? They went up 6-0. 6-0. Those starts were very momentous for NRG. I think NAVI has broken that sort of idea, though. I don't think they're going to be coming in the same amount of bunches on this map.
Yeah, split really just doesn't lend itself to that quite the same way, but I do think you're right. There's a lot of what NAVI seem to have been figuring out that should prevent that. Dash into the Cloud Burst, right into the Nano.
It's an updraft, though.
Manages to stay alive. Victor goes aggressive. Upgrades a weapon, too.
And that's space taking by the double duelist right there. Surprises Xiao on the site.
They're into spawn, and you can see they're going to want to cut off the rotation. They're going to want to keep NAVI at bay.
Ooh.
And you're not expecting a second heat. Well, okay, never mind. Angel was.
You are. That's the ball because of the nade, though. Paranoia is going to allow him to retake that space, but with the Trailblazer, too.
At that distance, so I don't think it's going to get much info on the site.
Look at the star that Sam just placed, too. Angel has no way out. It has to be these two coming from heaven.
Can they find space? Crashy's down low with the Sheriff, getting the first. The flash to swing. Looking for another, and he finds it.
Angel's out.
I mean, another bonus for NRG.
Yeah, 3-0 start. That's huge. Angel does save the gun, though. This is one of those situations that is actually weird because the money's not there to buy armor. Actually, there is plenty of money. All right, look at it. This flash. Is Zippon's able to turn that? I mean, he's definitely dueling with Crashy's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crashy, the one player who really didn't have a weapon there. And as you can see, there is definitely like 3K, lots of people buying armor here. I'm surprised Angel, when we've seen in the past, he gives up that rifle over to CNED. I think in here, you definitely, the 800 credits for him to try to, able to have a buy, he needs to get a kill or two.
Yeah, he got one. Rifle picked up from CNED. Not able to find any value with it.
And that's, I mean, CNED needs to be backing off there as fast as possible. They pushed into the B site, and Sugetsu can be able to recover this weapon. Investment of the Seekers from Crashies to maybe find some push here.
Does hard to swallow them. Yes, he does. Spotting one.
That's crazy.
It's bold.
They heard the rope for sure, though.
You see it from Sugetsu. Crosshair trained. Crashies, do you dare swing? Do you dare peek? Drop on the first. And the confirmation of the second up high. But the timing's not great. NRG win the round anyway.
Very nicely handled to bring them up to 4. That bonus, winning both of the attempts that they've had so far. Very hard to recover from.
One enemy remaining.
I think another thing we have to talk about is we've seen 2 maps that have been very swingy.
Yep.
Right? Ascent, very heavily defensive sided. Lotus can be very heavily attack sided. Split does not operate the same way.
Oh yeah,
So a lead like this, Bala, is significant.
Yeah. And especially right now, I mean, the comps make such a difference. Look at this dash from Artis. Goes for the right click on Sugetsu, and that's what I was talking about. He got punished a lot in middle during their playoffs run.
It's a very good point. A pause across the middle of the map for NRG.
Oh my goodness, seeing that as well with the op. Gets the money up.
He's got to get the kill.
It's a high low.
That's just,
Impossible.
yeah, that's just such an unexpected angle.
He's so high that the crosshair placement's nowhere near.
You didn't even see him in the scope.
And now they're messing with the economy significantly for NAVI. There's no chance they get another buy. Buying up an op in that situation. Xiao's in trouble.
He's trying to tuck tail. He's flash, manages to get around the corner with 68 HP and too many targets to find. He cannot deliver. Angel's left alone. It does look like he's going to pick up that op, though.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, it's not even necessarily has to. But obviously, that's such a good weapon to have when the rest of your teammates are not going to be able to buy up. NRG should know that he's going to look to pick up the op.
Or does he just keep the Vandal?
I mean, yeah, he's doing it. That's the choice made.
Does not look like Angel will be found as the round expires. But NRG, much like we saw on map 1, much like we saw on map 2, they find themselves winning rounds in bunches. Another streak.
I mean, you're looking at 6-0, just like Lotus. Just as I was thinking. You're going to have a shift. Streaky or not, NAVI have fought back so many times. They only fell flat on that second half of Ascent. Every single other time, they've come back slightly. On Lotus, when they went down 6-0 at the beginning, they ended the half 8-4. Respectable little comeback. Again, when they went down in the second half, when they lost up, almost gave up match point, they swing it back.
This is now the third map in a row where NAVI called a timeout early in the first half. And again, it's in the face of a streak.
Yep.
You understand why.
Eyes on the prize right now for NRG.
Meanwhile, for NAVI, they have to cauterize and capitalize the bleeding that has taken place.
There's a lot of tools here, too. Again, to consider. At least NAVI has their own. In terms of ultimates, on board right now, Sam has his Cosmic Divide. Victor has his Showstopper for NRG. For NAVI, it's the Viper's Pit and Seekers. So potentially they can shut down one side. Maybe it's middle. Out of this timeout, we just saw Artist try to punish Sugetsu and get success with it. And look at this buy out of NAVI. It's very interesting.
That is different.
Sugetsu's getting one rifle, Angel again with a rifle of his own, and the rest are sheriffs, so going for a little hero buy.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to a point you were making earlier where we've seen Angel in instances like this hand the rifle off to their star duelist.
Yeah.
This time Cena just with the sheriff. Cosmic Divide instantly invested. Shao, discipline box, but very well handled by Artist. You hear the Showstopper used too. As Artist goes up top, gets you there to greet. The double duelist.
Wait, this orb is really bad for CNET to actually get some space. He's gonna get both kills.
How much more can he find? It's become a mess. It's become a complete mess.
Oh, the secret doesn't get broken either. I don't think Finesse could see it, as Sam has not been spotted by it yet, so it doesn't show up on the minimap for him. It doesn't show up on his screen visually. But Zippon gets on the site with it.
CNED with 3. Finesse left alone in a clutch. Spike not in hand.
And now if I'm NAVI, I want Zippon to take first contact so CNED can end up, if Finesse gets close to them, using that Showstopper and trying to solidify the round. Probably not going to come to that, though.
Finesse creeping his way around. Quietly, but with intent.
That jump spot just goes to where we just cleared with the flash.
First couple shots not landing.
Oh!
Showstopper, and it lands on the kill. CNED with 4, NAVI on the board.
Pretty critical use there. Hey! Evil Geniuses fam in the house. That's the next game coming up against DRX. Papa Com and Mama Com.
30 seconds left.
Given this series, I'm not ready to get there yet.
No, not even close.
I want to stay here.
But that is sending a team to playoffs, which is crazy. Again, just the difference between what this matchup is right now. It's an opening match. Neither team ready to send their ticket up in the playoffs.
Oh, aggression!
Normally that's definitely punishing Zippon there, but he's ahead of the stun.
Victor not able to find the space.
Defensively, in order to counter that sort of idea, you have to do a lot of creative stuff by peeking him in, that sort of idea. But there's Zippon just straight up fights.
There's often lost crashes. He's be able to see net investing. The Seekers, the flash on the other side of the wall. He's gone rogue. He's going solo, and he's finding value.
1 HP for a moment with that decay.
Talk about putting the team on your back. At least in this round.
And he keeps it to a 3v3 with that kill on the Angel, and also that makes it difficult because he could have easily had smokes up at this point. Now it unlocks some key tools from NRG in their strat book. They can dry walk, they can pop smokes and walk behind them, and it will be the dry walk choice.
Sam, up in heaven. Oh,
what?
Yes. What on earth was that?
Sorry, what?
That one's ending up on Reddit. Shao's going to be left in this 1v3 situation where both Crashies and Finesse are weak. But he's so far away, he's not even going to try. I need to go back to this Crashies play. Because, as you know, not all kills are created equal, right? That kill stabilized the round, right? Victor had just used his, had just satcheled up forward. He didn't find any space. He didn't find any value. He single-handedly makes a play to get things back to 3, as you said.
Yeah. Zippon ends CNED falling in that instance, where they had advantage. And this is a reset round slightly, for NAVI. Zipon and CNET somehow have 4K and 3.8 respectively, so you're definitely going to see another one of those weird hero rifle buys. Because of the way how these rounds have played out, and the weapons have been saved. That pit's still not used from Sugetsu, by the way. Which out of that timeout, I was really thinking was going to be considered. This moment right here is what you're talking about. Popping the Seekers, then insta-flashing through. That's a double peek that just gets sprayed down. And Angel knows. We can't be letting Finesse do that.
Not like that. Attack off in the hands of Artis, and he gets 2.
Kills are just coming in 2s. And the round's over. Trailblazer in, they spot the player. Second smoke, not available for some. He smoked off Mail, so there's room for Sugetsu to have some damage done. They're waiting for that to come up. Instead, it looks like he recalled it.
Interesting choice. Instead, they flash and go up towards heaven, clear that out while Artis is holding the line, holding the space.
And to go back to that initial double kill out of Artis, the reason he goes for that peek is he's expecting NAVI to continue to swing based off of what success they had after Victor went for that double satchel last time. Just swinging in front of the sun, swinging in front of the flash, trying to take a 2v1. Artis just posts up instead, and that's why you can't do that. Instant punish in the worst of ways.
Blinded.
This patience from NRG is outrageous. Just waiting for things to go. Zipan, who's here by himself, managing to take down Crashies, but that's all it is. Spike should be secured.
He just took the site with 2 players. Finesse, maybe threw a molly. Sam is on the other side of the map here.
Alarm bot out.
The dude is in mid.
NAVI once again in a position where they're just going to try to save the weapons that they have. A Phantom in the hands of Shao. Bulldog for Sugetsu. You can see the defenses that they've put up around them. The alarm bot up in heaven, the turret to make sure no one's pushing spawn. Their objective is very clear here. Preserve what they have.
Crazy part about this too is the switch from NAVI to put one of Sugetsu or Shao. Sugetsu usually is going to play it always in mid or B, but to swap Shao onto the A side is going to enable Victor to again go for double satchels there. So every single little thing that is finding success here for NRG is setting them up for the next round even still. If I'm NRG, I continue to keep the pressure up on that A side.
Superimposed upon one another. What can you really do? 6-round lead for NRG. And again, the potential of another streak. Maybe not to the same degree, but the makings are all there. NAVI are on a light buy. 2 sheriffs and then rifles, but certainly not full strength, not full force.
Oh, somebody did buy up a rifle. It's Angel. And that one.
There's one of the rifles. You've got
it's Sugetsu who falls. Remember, I keep talking about how he needs to not get punished in this middle. 3 times he's already dead at the beginning of the round.
CNET showing up here and picking up the weapon that was dropped. Angel trying to deal with 2 members, dashing across the screen, flying across his face, and Victor the first to fall.
Oh, he's paranoid. No.
He has no idea. Whoa, he has no idea what to play from Angel.
A follow-up flash too. He can swing even further.
Houdiniing his way through that. But Finesse trading the kill back. And the spike's out. He's going to try to find his way through, but I don't think he's expecting Zipon behind him.
Angel TP'd across too.
Surprise, it's a gift.
Angel's in time. Star's coming in right now. He needs to obscure his position until he can get a guaranteed kill. No more TPs to get out either.
And remember, he did this. He's gotten them almost here by himself.
Oh, he gets out to play with Zipon instead. Not using the element of surprise, knowing he TP'd there earlier. They should be aware. Is there a recall?
Crashies.
Come on. Woo. It's the NRG formula right there. I mean, they just continue to walk until there's a gap, until there's some sort of information found. And that's how you find timings. If you don't explore as much as you can, you don't know whether you can take that shot. They need this. I mean, Zipon
Yep.
needs to pull out a 1v2 here to keep them in the game.
Which feels like such a big ask, given the spike has been planted for a little while. There's still a good bit of utility on the side of NRG. The flash being used there. Zippon trading back with one of his own, and Sam swings through and greets him. NRG at 8. And what a stomp this has become.
8-1. And we're in a situation again where NAVI are using their second timeout in the first half.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, they need to win out.
Yeah.
Even whether or not this comp, whether you have a discussion about whether this comp is attack-sided or not, whether split is still defender-sided, it doesn't matter. This half starts to become untenable with any further rounds from NRG.
Doombros understanding the gravity of the situation, invests the last time out, as you mentioned.
Opting to leave his team to discuss here. Happy with it, what Angel's discussing with his teammates. But there's more than just strategy here. It's form for everybody. They're getting picked apart. I'm specifically thinking of Sugetsu in mid right now.
Yeah.
But there's many things to pull out if you're NRG. That A main pressure that they went for, the double satchel up ramp, flipping it with Artis opping on the angle. A surprise attack side out, by the way. He hasn't gone back to that since that round.
No, but he instilled the fear in NAVI. You see it on the scoreboard. You mentioned form. There's a lot to be addressed here. You talked about Sugetsu and the fact that he continues to get picked. CNET has 4 kills. All 4 of them came in 1 round.
Yep.
He's struggled before then and since.
And he was the key factor in why they were at this position, why they're able to min map 2.
Yep.
Is that raise on Lotus. And while we said it looks comfortable, historically CNET has more struggled on the off-jet rolls. Not that he's been awful on the raise by any means, but split is where those jets who play and try to play that raise end up getting exposed when they're not completely formidable at the agent.
Victor picking up the orb. Artis with the dash proc, waiting to pounce. Backing on up instead. Jump spots. No headbound. Oh, you went a bit too far there.
Good re-clear from NAVI. Finally some success. And I like this. Don't try to challenge the early aggression.
Can't use that yet.
Instead, opt to just go for re-clears.
That first flash and NRG finding, again, more room across the middle of the map. This time CNET. But
Finally.
punching back, yeah.
Some success in the round. And again, though, can't let this fall apart. They put themselves in a good position, need to punch their ticket further. It's only the second round that they're in position to win right now.
NAVI are a little bit ahead of this, too. It's been a very slow round from NRG. And I wonder how much of that's giving NAVI room to breathe and adjust.
One enemy remaining.
It's all falling onto Sam in this 1v3, and he can't convert. Zippon cleans it up, and that's a second round for NAVI.
Keep 3 players up, keep all the ults online too. And NAVI really haven't been focused on those. I think Shao and Sugetsu have had their ult for, what, 4 rounds or more than that. Maybe the majority of this half at this point.
Yeah, very possible.
Okay, I like this from chat.
Me too.
Right now he has the opportunity to close out the half 10-2. If they succeed at that, I mean, the game is almost unthrowable. And because NAVI have already used the 2 timeouts, you're not giving much room for Doombros in the second half at all
Enemy remaining.
to be a factor.
I think that's it.
We'll see what the adjustment is on the other side of this timeout. Again, remember for NRG, that last round was very cautious.
Yeah.
Given that they had double duelists, they explored Garage, they didn't fully pounce, even knowing that CNED was there with the Roomba, so they knew he was close. They got some space mid, and they had a split, and they chose not to burst out towards that. They were very careful. You want to hear what the adaptation is.
Y'all know what's coming. Okay, timer ticks. Let's go.
Ah, come on, man. Don't text us like that.
I'm just saying, that thing was stuck on 28.
That made you nervous a little bit. All good. 6-round lead for NRG. On the other side of this timeout, again, what are the adjustments? You've got Blades for Artis. You can't imagine he'll use that. But Victor with the showstopper. And it's a spread look from NRG. Look at how far back they still have 2 members in spawn.
They dodge the flash. See if there's another approach. The pit finally invested. Shao with a deep alarm bot too to help out Sugetsu before he rotates off.
And Victor's going to confirm where it is. That's going to have him rotate off. But as you're saying, NAVI now creeping back towards B.
Okay, so this setup allows them to give up mid. But you're right. If the hit doesn't come through middle, it's going to be towards B. They've got 3 players ready to receive.
Flash is traded. These last 2 rounds have genuinely felt like a chess match.
Moving the pieces on the board. Zipon clears out mid, which is a key tell. 50 seconds right now. Crash is going to dog through. And with the wall late. That's a tool that both teams using right now. And the Seekers pop to actually expose this split coming in at the same time. But is that too much pressure?
You mentioned mid was open, and that's where the spike is. Got a lot of space mid. They're contacting out onto the side. Angel.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. Finesse!
No,
where are you looking?
Oh my goodness! Finesse equalizes! Stabilizes, and Victor from up top with the ult gets another.
Just a ridiculous moment between the 2 leaders, and Angel's got to be kicking himself. That kill was available, but the flash gets full blind.
2 wise men to 2 blind mice. Sugetsu and Shao having to try to make a play out of this, and they cannot. Finesse with 3 on the round.
I mean, I've got to say, Finesse is playing out of his mind. In comparison to the Americas split that he had, it was rough, very rough. And yeah, at times he was a key factor in some of those rounds again, but it's bursts. Overall, the consistency's not been there from Finesse. Today, that's a different story.
Yeah, agreed.
Shao going for another save. I mean, 11 round played, no kills, 7 deaths.
Definitely not what you expect out of a player of his caliber.
This is crazy. The full flash, and he walks in front.
It's like finding a gift.
And that's the reason why that wall is there, by the way, because he wants to lurk all the way and take that 1v1 against Angel if it shows itself.
Different setup here. Remember in the previous round, it was a late wall out from Finesse. This time, early investment towards A.
Mostly been using this all game. Had so many tools, man. Shao's still not finding ways to find this lockdown. He's got to. It's round 12. He's got to find a way. And his teammates can't give up the site before he gets there. Again, that's the difficulty with this KJ. It's so hard to find useful lockdowns on defense. On attack, it's a different story. On defense, though, it is rough.
In a lot of ways, the slowing down of the attack side from NRG feels to me like they're putting the game, the ball, so to speak, in Finesse's hands. In his mid-round calling, in reading the map, reading Navi.
I mean, you just saw exactly that. And by the way, it's not like these 2 IGLs know the ins and outs of how they call, like we know between the battle from Finesse and Sadak.
Sure,
No,
sure.
These 2 guys have only played against each other once here in Valorant.
I've got your track.
And it's a classic Finesse fake. Seekers, Cosmic Divide, they walk up mid. Is Angel aware? Is he calling out the possibility?
There are 3 here. A refresh smoke. Sugetsu with a lot to do on the other side of the sword, manages to get around the corner just in the nick of time.
Lockdown used, finally Shao.
They're pushing into it anyway. Angel had nowhere to go. Artis on one side, Crashies on the other, and Sugetsu creeping his way forward at just the right time.
And there, oh, the nade broke it last second.
13 seconds left. Spike's still not planted. Tom finally getting it down. Pays for it with his life, though. Blades for Artis. Chooses to go with the bullets instead. Turns the flash, lands a shot! Both of them fall. And a 10-2 half for NRG.
That late half timeout from Chet, finding full success, and it's the most dominant half of the series. Crazy to see Shao, of all people, 0-8, but that's the problem with playing Killjoy in this map. That's the problem with playing off-roll on it, too.
1 enemy remaining.
It's not as active. And now, at this point, playing 3 different roles throughout this season.
Whew. Again, a 10-2 half for NRG, a stop, a statement, call it what you want, but they are in firm control. We'll throw it down to the desk to break down the first half.
Thank you so much, fellas, for that one. And yes, we are now at a point where it is dangerous for NAVI. I mean, we crossed that threshold quite a while ago, but now we're in real risky territory. But really, Kukuka, I think you got to give the flowers here to, you know, the combination of Victor and Artis working together here to really bring success to this NRG team.
I think that especially during the first half of this first half, right? It was all about this two duelists holding hands, everybody setting the grounds so well, and it was a game of revenge as well, right? If one of them goes down, the other one will get the refrag, will keep pushing, will keep that energy flowing. The rest of it, I think it was a little bit like overcooking. I don't think that NAVI was making things pretty hard onto them, but the performance from this two was just beautiful. On the other side, I'm just sad for Show.
Yeah.
They're struggling right now on the side of NAVI, and NRG just called an expert half. The way they can vary this double duelist comp from going for these really fast flood executes or doing that in the mid round and also throwing in a lot of these contact plays with their Viper utility was so hard for NAVI to shut down. And now this brings into question all of the time in the regular season where they were going back and forth on comps trying to find their stride. Does that lose them the depth? Because it seems to here we're a third map in a series that they had pushed to be so competitive, and now this is a map that they just don't seem prepared on.
We were also seeing Angel, for example, in the player cams, just you know, feeling a little bit defeated, not actually being able to find the tools to actually go back from this.
Last time these two teams played, it was the core of NAVI who went on to win the tournament, to beat them in the playoffs. Now they're at the face of being in the lower bracket at the start of groups. NRG has their revenge in their hands.
Well, NAVI's on the struggle bus on the way to Struggle City. They're going to need to turn this one around if they want to have a chance to send it back over to Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. The questions are whether or not the bus can go into reverse. Because right now, it's just a full, I mean, all the way to Struggle City, as you said.
Yep.
Down 8. Now they're on their attacking side. You question what kind of plans they have set to try to bring this thing back.
And some of the benefits that they would have had in this comp not realized on that defensive side, right? You can't really slow down a defensive side from the two double duelists. It's completely different now. All they have to do is convert 3 rounds. On attack side with this comp, when they have double controller and a sentinel in the KJ from Shao, that's asking a lot.
You see the setup trap already. Finesse is jump spotting. Artis is on the other side of ropes. Unexpected there.
Bombot in, and it gets broken before it spots the cross from Artis. This smoke needs to be refreshed, otherwise Victor's entering the fight too.
They are all here. They've all joined, and it's a 1-for-1.
With Victor showing himself, they might have a gap here, a timing towards B. Obviously, Som could be there jump spotting anything like that, and they did not spot him. They're going to have to take their time, but we see there is a gap. Can they find it? What?
Yep. Seems like they can. Woo. Victor not finding anything. CNED with 2. Finesse trying to find some success here, and all he's finding is damage taken.
How is that guy alive? He's just getting pounded right there.
Crashies healthy, but turd in his face. Finesse not nearly as fortunate
Last player standing.
as he falls.
It's like every second these NRG players peak, they're getting taken out. That first shot from CNED, very, very crazy to me. And that's the start. Pistol round. And they're 4 for 6 on those. Very, very important rounds. Nasty.
I'm still here, amigo.
Saddle up, Cowboy. We may be in for a good second half. But it's just 1 round. And again, you mentioned it, Bala. For as close as NRG are, they just need to win 3. Navi's road to redemption is much longer.
I mean, speaking of time, NRG's got it all. And they've already won Thrifty in this series. Much less weaponry than they had that last time, though. It was stingers, that sort of thing. Sheriff's also invested. Right now, what they've bought indicates they're trying to get damage done. Navi doing the best NRG impression that they can, though. Dry walking up mid, no util used.
Victor with the nade, nothing spotted yet. That'll confirm things.
Alarm about to clear the smoke too. Nade not used from Victor.
But Finesse does fall. And there's just really nothing that they can do to fight back. It was a flawless round from NRG.
Seems like those anti-ecos are constantly coming through as Prime Gaming flawlesses for NAVI.
Yeah.
Over and over.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
But again, we've talked about it a lot. They still have not converted a bonus despite having 3 attempts. This will be their 4th. And it's all the more important here. They need to get that same sort of streak going. I'm really curious how the KJ is playing here. Using the turret to spot whether Artis is going to peek out. And Artis is very aware of that position. And use a recall smoke to try to get it down, but Angel taking down Salma. Artis has given up that space.
It's a filthy shot too.
Oh, dinked as well. Instantly. Only missed out. They're going to re-clear. Look, Finesse is already on the hunt. 3 players from NAVI able to receive.
And it's just, oh, it's a bit delayed. But Finesse punching back with 2. Paranoia in his face to spam through. It's not going to find anything.
And even if Finesse truly did fall back there, that paranoia still would have been a problem for him. Angel punches it through. And up in that close range, there's no way.
Spike planted.
Up and down he goes. Into the next round.
There we go. Hey, first bonus converted. That is finally going through NAVI. They simply, if they won some of those bonuses, I mean, some of those maps would have been clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might have been looking at them winning Ascent very easily and looking like they stomped NRG instead.
Spikes here.
And you could have been looking at a very easy Lotus. At least to make that comeback in the initial spring of things.
That's just not nearly as fun though, is it? Victor with the judge, no armor. Full rifles for NAVI.
And remember, when NAVI was in this position in the last half,
I don't think they've checked him.
they were buying up, you know, hero rifles here and there. NRG is not buying anything except this occasional judge here, and definitely a lot of sheriffs. They're trying to get that econ rolling, specifically Artis. He's got enough money for an op next round. So it's much harder for them to convert these eco rounds, but it's not a focus of NRG's game plans. Outside of Stinger meta, they really haven't made it a focus, even back to the Optic core. Yes, their sheriffs are very dangerous, but you're asking a lot still, given how good NAVI have been on those anti-ecos.
A little damage.
Victor's got a pocket.
And he's been there this entire time. The Trailblazer did not spot him. It was cleared by
Did he
Crashies.
just land a molly on him? No.
He's still, I mean, he's just sitting there.
I mean, if they come from a heaven, it's not going to be a problem.
Oh, and if they just clean out everyone else on his team before he even gets a chance, it won't be either. And that seems to be the case. Forgot to kill the classic from that far away. 2 bullets left with the Sheriff. Neither fired off. And another round for NAVI.
I can't believe you pulled the classic to get the spike point kill, but there's no way you expect him there after all of that. Again, very good anti-eco from NAVI. Those are the sort of things that you really have to be good at if you're going to start a comeback from 10-2. I wouldn't even consider it started at this point. Just converting the bonus, that's not going to be enough. Normally a 4-round streak like that would put you right back in contention, but still, this gap, this deficit's so large. Up for Artis though, and he's in middle. Nobody there.
He's taking space though. He's creeping up.
Scout destroyed.
We're about to find out real soon that that's not where the play is.
Oh
Victor
God,
once.
oh God. Ah, no, not
Oh,
again.
have we seen this twice? And now he's got the showstopper. Victor with a 3rd. In the face of the flash, satcheling to get away, not able to survive. But what a round from NRG.
That's twice he hides in a pocket. And that's twice they go for double dive. Angel and CNED together. Without having the real information. Without going into a smoke, nothing like that. They don't have the same tools. If you want to double dive like that, which has been a key point for them all year.
Yep.
You want CNED on Jet. This Raze double dive is so dangerous. Either way, that's not the end of the world for NAVI, but NRG inch ever closer now. Only 2 rounds needed.
NAVI have 4 ults here. Early pit out from Finesse.
I wouldn't be surprised to see instant flash and CNED diving in with the showstopper, but they're not going for it.
And middle map is lost. NRG sent both their duelists up there already.
And something that all the other teams, when there's a single sky on this, they're sending 1 person on the other side of the map and 4 on the other.
Zipan has 2 flashes right now. What a tense moment. Will they expect him? There's the flash to turn. Artist dashes away, leaving Victor as the trap.
Another pocket.
It's been sprung. Do they take the bait?
There's no way.
Victor, patient. The flash doesn't hit. And they've crept right by.
Here comes the KJ ult finally. On the attack side, it's up.
Victor
It's
with the
still
chance.
up from Finesse. He's not biting. He's not biting at all. He thinks it's a fake.
CNED, the first to fall. ECC gets to.
Oh!
Concerned about the other side of the map. While NRG get everything that they want. They establish control. They get detains.
Spike down.
Victor from up in heaven with 85 HP finds another.
Remaining.
And things have gone horribly askew.
Can he get the spike?
Nothing found. NRG series point.
Match point.
3 rounds with Victor in the backlines finding immense value. They're NAVI pivoting with no map control. Off of the A hit at the beginning of the round, they see that pit, opt not to go for a push through, despite all their coins being invested towards that side. Every single player, every single pawn. And that hurts them so much. They don't recognize that Artist is opping. They don't recognize where Victor could be played.
And now NAVI find themselves in check. What is the response?
6 attempts here from NRG.
Artist looking for an angle. Holding the line with that op with Crashies close by. Meanwhile, all of NAVI are mid. Finesse is here. Gets one, gets away.
It's falling apart for NRG, or for NAVI.
Almost fell apart for Finesse there.
It's completely falling apart. Angel consistently not checking corners. And a lot of times it's NRG with a lot of misdirection. There again, Victor with the nade. He's the guy who's been tucking in cubbies. All right, so they see the nade comes from Mail, they back off.
Sam is in a position to, really spoil this. It's Xiao with the spike, and he's by himself.
He's been satcheled up there, by the way. And again, you've seen Victor. You don't think this position's possible.
Right.
I'm not sure if they've seen Artist, but knowing he has an op, there's no way they put him up there. CNED with a showstopper. He's going to be the entry here against Sam.
30
Oh!
seconds left.
He doesn't see him at all.
Oh, the gravity wall keeps him back. There it is. They've got them all lined up. It's a 3v2. Xiao and Sugetsu find themselves onto the site with the spike. Reposition, just a temporary delay.
He has to be safe there with the threat of losing this series right now.
Can they get the pieces in the right place? Crashies from up top with the flash. Artist dropping down. It's a spam through the box. Xiao's so weak. Sugetsu falls. It's all onto Xiao. 18 HP left. Checkmate. NRG take down NAVI.
Incredibly important opening match.